Hello everyone, I am Sarika from India. Is my voice clear?
Yes, it's
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So without more further ado, I'd like to take the Toastmasters promise. I'll recite it alone. So while you recite silently with me, maybe at the back end, the Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, evaluation, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offer, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all members, educational and recognition program, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. So in the actual parliament, state the word, so help me God. However, moving on, our fellow Toastmasters and guests, we'll be having this agenda to run through. We have two phases of the Toastmasters program, which will be well explained by the president or the Toastmasters of the day. Then, in order to move forward, I'd like to introduce no other person, Mr. President of Lighthouse Prestige, TM Chinese Amalfo, to move ahead with the meeting. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone.
In India, it's good afternoon.
Good morning. Okay. Oh, it's afternoon where you are. Okay, so hello, everyone. I think that's safer. Hello, everyone. I'm glad that we're all here. We were able to make it for today's meeting. It's always a delight to know that people are interested in becoming better. And so it gives me great pleasure that every Saturday now, 11 o'clock, a lot of us tune in here and we come here to learn, and then to learn from others, to hear new things, learn new things. And so it gives me great pleasure, and I say welcome to everyone. Okay, a few days ago, I had a challenge with a project I was working on. I'm a PR consultant. So I had a very big challenge trying to crack a challenge I was facing. So I searched, I asked a lot of people, and then I met my friend who is a career coach, Abiola, and I told him what my challenge was. It didn't take him 2 minutes to give me a solution to the challenge I had. And that was very, very eye-opening for me. It wasn't, but I didn't see, because I was maybe looking for thunder to strike or something big to happen before I found a solution. And so it opened my eyes to know that at every point in time, we're all seeking a solution to a problem. And the problem may be big or small. It could be a timeless or recent. It could be a personal or professional problem. And one of the sad realities is that many times the solution to these problems might be in your corner and might have always been in your corner and will always be in your corner. But because we're too close to the solution, we're blinded by proximity. And that's even the theme of today's meeting. The solution may be in the form of a counsel from our loved ones, a book on your shelf, an idea from a colleague that you had discarded a long time ago, a potential that has no platform. That solution can be a document on your hard drive or laptop, or if you're like me, it might be a screenshot which you took a long time ago. It might be an audio track on your phone that you listen to. It might be a coach. I didn't particularly go out to go and meet a coach, but it was a coach that gave me that solution so many months ago. We're always blinded by proximity because of our perception of what we think the solution will be. And in this instance, our expectations cast a mental shadow on the solutions around us. It is seeing solutions to different problems. Someone said in our local parlance that someone said that opportunities come in work clothes, but we're always blinded to see the work and not the opportunities. There's a Nigerian saying, which a lot of us are familiar with. It says that waiting you won't go look for Sokoto is inside your Shokoto, which means that what you're seeking for in a far place is right where you are. So our commitment as Toastmasters, especially for those of us who are seeking maybe solutions to our public speaking, to our leadership skills, is that we should try and do things that illuminate our minds to see the solutions already available to us. The wise man said that the best solutions are often simple, yet unexpected. To move us forward, before we move ahead with our meeting, I'd like to recognize specially some Toastmasters that joined us from different places. We have Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, who joined us from Maiduguri. We have a Toastmaster Sarika, all the way from India. We have a Toastmaster Samuel from Port Harcourt, and we have a Toastmaster Inamesit from Abuja. I'd like to welcome them specially for joining us. And at the end of the meeting, we will welcome them. And I just wanted to recognize them so we know that we have people from other Toastmasters Club in our midst. Okay, to move us ahead with the meeting, I'd like to recognize the Toastmaster of the day. I would like to call on the Toastmaster of the day. This person will lead us, if you attend functions or weddings, she will serve as the master of ceremony for the meeting. Okay, she will take us through the meeting through all the way. Okay, so who am I talking about? I'm talking about someone that is very, very special. She's a champion through and through. Okay, she is who they call a fashionpreneur, if you know what I mean. She's a fashionpreneur. She's a very creative person. She came second place at the just concluded international speech contest for our division. I'm talking about no other person than TM Ayotola Olarewaju. Please, round of applause. I think she likes being clapped for, so please do so. Clap for her, unmute your mic and give her a resounding round of applause. If not, she might not come on. Please, let's do that. Where's TM Ayo? Is she here? TM Ayotola, everybody is clapping for you. Please show your face. Toastmaster Ayo. Ayo, tell me.
I can see online.
She's online.
Master Ayo, please unmute.
Unmute and talk to us, please. Hello, Tiamayo.
Kindly give her 2 minutes. Just 1 minute. TM Chinese, you may go ahead, please. Just 1 minute.
Okay, I think maybe she's having difficulties. Okay, so before she joins, okay, I was saying that we had some Toastmasters that joined us from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, from India. I'd like to go to India someday. And then from Maiduguri. So Toastmaster Ibrahim from Maiduguri. How is Maiduguri? Oh, okay, I think I can see Ayatollah, are you here now? You ready? We can't hear you.
Please unmute. Okay.
Yes.
I'm here now.
Okay,
Yeah, that's our Toastmaster.
so I'm handing over control to Toastmaster Ayatollah Olarawaju, our Toastmaster of the day. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you. I apologize for that brief interruption. Network, my village people were trying hard, but thank God I'm back now. So, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are around the world. This Toastmasters meeting once again. I will be your Toastmaster of the day, like the president rightly said. And okay, if you are new to Toastmasters and it's just like, okay, what's Toastmasters? I remember so many people keep asking me, even people that are my friends. I mean, like, you're my friend, you should know this. They go like every single time, even this week, what is Toastmaster? So let me just tell you now. Toastmaster is a non-profit organization that helps individuals cultivate their speaking skills and also leadership skills. It also helps you increase your network base, depending on how you use your network of friends in Toastmasters. And the duty of the Toastmaster of the day is simply to take you on this journey like an MC. You could say you just have to announce speakers and just guide the whole meeting. And that being said, we have 3 main sessions in every Toastmasters meeting. 3 main sessions. And the first session is the topic session, the table topic session. This is the part where people get to practice impromptu speaking skills. In Toastmasters, it helps you just think off the cuff, but we get there in good time. And the second session is the prepared speech session. This part is where speakers who have gone to do research and write, edit, and practice their speeches get to speak now. And the final part is the evaluation section. Here is where Toastmasters get feedback on their speeches and their role playing. Evaluation is a key part of every Toastmasters meeting. And that is why we have like a whole evaluation team that helps with the checks and balances in every Toastmasters. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and mention the person who would be the general evaluator for today's meeting. This is a very special person to me. I've known her for so many years and I've grown to love her too. And that person is me. And because the role of the general evaluator is simply to take note of every single thing that happens during the meeting and make observations from the beginning to the end of the meeting. But this seems like a daunting task for just one person, right? So I have a team that will be doing this with me. And the first person on my team is the timer and our counter. The timer for today's meeting is a very vivacious lady. She is she's an insurer, and she loves reading, learning, and okay, she loves reading and learning new things. This is no other person than Toastmaster Slim Ejiro. Toastmaster Slim Ejiro, please come up and explain what your role entails.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. As you know, my name is Slim, and I am glad and excited I'm playing two roles at the same time for the first time. Thank you. I'll be playing the role of Arcanta and Timekeeper. My role as Arcanta is to look out for pause fillers. Pause fillers like so, as in, etc. like that. So you should mind the way you speak during speaking, okay? And for timekeeper, I'll be in track. I'll be responsible for your timing. So I have my stopwatch here, and I have three cards here. We have prepared speeches and table topic for the day. For table topic, we'll be giving you 2 minutes to speak. And once it's 1 minute, I will flag the green card, which is this. Once for table topic, once you are on 1 minute, I'll flag the green card. When you are already on 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll flag the yellow. That shows that you have to round up with your speech. And once you are already on 2 minutes, I'll flag the red to show that you are done speaking. And for those prepared speeches, I will be flagging once. It usually comes with 4 to 6 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes. But for the people that are given their icebreaker today, for 4 to 6 minutes, I'll be flagging green, but the green flag once you hit 4 minutes. And once you hit 5 minutes, you are on 5 minutes, I'll flag the yellow to prove to you that you have to start rounding up with your speech. And once you are on 6 minutes on the dot, I'll flag the red. Thank you so very much. Enjoy yourself. Use the word for today. And I'll be looking out for pause fillers, and I'll be right here to track your time. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Slim. Now, the next person on my team is the grammarian and listening evaluator. The person playing this role today is a person who says he loves being surrounded by babes. He's an IT professional who joined Toastmaster in 2018. He enjoys playing chess. He won Best Speaker at the last meeting. Welcome, Toastmaster Chinedu Omenkoko, to explain his role as grammarian and listening evaluator.
Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster or Ms. Toastmaster. Thank you, the Toastmaster.
Thank you.
For today, I will be your grammarian and listening evaluator, and I'll take a while to explain what I'll be doing as part of this role. I'm going to share with you the word of the day now. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As the grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, which I've displayed on your screen. Now, the word for today is nexus.
Nexus.
Nexus, which means a connection or series of connections linking two or more things. It also means a central or focal point. An example of the use of this word is the nexus between industry and political power. I've also included this word of the day in the chat box, so you could see it from there. As a listening evaluator, it is important to note that good speaking is also as important as good listening. As a listener, I would note the interesting tidbits of information from any of the speakers and any question, and ask questions near the end of the meeting to see if everyone has been paying attention. Remember, the nexus between your goal in Toastmasters and your presence in this meeting demands you listen properly. I will give the grammarian and listening reports when I'm called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day, nexus. The Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chinedu. So before we move into the first part of today's meeting, I was thinking about the theme of the day, blinded by proximity. And I thought to myself for a brief, not that brief, because I was like, blinded by proximity. I mean, it's so simple, but you know how sometimes you're like, okay, so how can I relate this to an actual thing? And I realized that I was actually doing the same thing that Toastmaster Chineze rightly pointed out at the beginning of the meeting. Like there are times when you probably already have a close example or a close solution to something right within you, but then you go out to say, how do I do this? I don't know. Just because you feel, nah, I think this is a bit too much for me to know it all by myself. And also, sometimes it's different. It's not just when you have to ask someone close to you. Sometimes it's something within you. And it reminds me of the story of a farmer who was really poor. And he thought to, like, he kept envying the fields of all his other farmer friends, like, oh, they had luscious farmlands and bountiful harvest. And he felt, no, I just have polluted ground, dirty water flowing in my farm. And he just couldn't appreciate or look within himself to see what it was. So he kept complaining about. At a point, his best friend said, okay, so how about we see a way that we can use this water instead of just keep complaining about, so this water is useless. I mean, check it out. It keeps spoiling my crops every year. So the friend gave up, obviously, because sometimes we're just too tired to start encouraging people, except if it's your ministry to do that. You're like, okay, I've tried. Let me go and face my life. So the friend said, okay. So after, at a point, he said, okay, I'm done with you complaining. How about we sell this? If you sell it, you could buy a different farmland and you'd be richer for it. He said, okay, but nobody's going to buy it. It is dirty. I mean, this thing keeps seeping out of the ground and polluting my farmland. I said, okay, fine. We can just tell them that it's like something really nice, really expensive. It's like a mineral, and we'll sell it. It would be worth something. Okay, fine. So they got a buyer after asking so many people to come appraise the land. And they told him that it's worth a lot. I can just check it out. And the girl's like, really? He came, he checked it out. I said, okay, don't worry, I'll pay double for it. So he did. And he left. Years later, this farmer bought a small, nice piece of land, and he was enjoying his life in a very, moderate way. And this guy who came to appraise the land, who they thought, oh, I had actually cheated this person, already got someone to check that dirty, polluted water out and found out that it was crude oil. And you and I both know what that is what. And this man became super rich. And when the farmer found out, can you imagine when you know that you had something really good in your backyard and then you lost it because you didn't appreciate it or take time to find out what it really was? It was sad. And needless to say that he felt poorer than he ever did his entire life. So sometimes it's not just about looking at people around us, it's about looking within us to find out the wealth of riches that we really have. We shouldn't try to overlook ourselves by saying, nah, it's me, little old me in this corner of the world. What can I possibly do, right? So moving on to the first portion of the Toastmasters meeting. I particularly love this portion a lot. I know a lot of people but I love it. I don't think I volunteer because of Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne and Toastmaster Christopher. But yes, I love this part a lot. And it is the table topic session. This session will be handled by a Toastmaster who joined Toastmaster in 2019. He's a finance consultant and has won Best Speaker Award and loves having fun. The Toastmaster will be handling, I have no doubt that he would. I mean, recently I've heard him speak and he has just been smashing. I'm like, I knew you and now you're doing this. So I think I was blinded by proximity. So after seeing him speak recently, I was like, okay, I have to start looking at people around me now. The Toastmaster will be handling this session of the meeting is no other person but Toastmaster Jayeola Koka. Toastmaster Jayeola Koka, over to you. Toastmaster Jaye.
Oh, thank you. You mentioned something about being blinded by proximity. So maybe after this meeting, we could talk since you are no longer.
Yeah, sure. You're my digit.
Blinded by proximity. We just have a personal that will enable us to be successful in all our endeavors. And this is why we, the Toastmaster International, developed the table topic session to help us practice. Hello, Toastmasters, can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, fantastic,
Yes,
fantastic.
Can hear you now.
Good. So our ability to speak and think quickly is an important skill that would enable us to succeed in all our endeavors. And this is why the Toastmaster International developed the table topic session to help us practice and learn this skill. So today I am the Toastmaster. I'm not the Toastmaster, I'm table topics master. So what I'll be doing is I would issue out topics. I'll issue out topics to Toastmasters and guests, and they would present their idea on the topics within 1 to 2 minutes. I have 3 topics, which means I would have 3 speakers. So my rule for these table topics is that I would call out the topic. When I call out the topic, the first person that comments on the box, that volunteers on the box to speak on the topic, will be the person to talk on whatever topic I issue. However, it is after I have said the topic that you can volunteer. So if you're volunteering right now, stop. Wait till I finish and say the topic. So my first question is this. You have been friend zoned and you have to convince the person that you love that your proximity to that person is a strength and not a disadvantage. How would you do it? Volunteers. Now, I'm looking at the chat box. First person that volunteers would be the person I call. Oh, fantastic, Joy Cheyenne. Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne. Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne, can I see your face, please? Is Toastmaster Joy there?
I am.
Oh, fantastic. So you heard my topic, did you?
Yes, I did. Good
So are
morning.
you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, want to go.
Good morning, Toastmasters. My dear friend, Ngozi, I've known you for over 30 years. And in those 30 years, I know we've had ups and downs. And now that you've been given a political position, you feel that the friendship is no longer required. But I want you to know that we've been together these 30 years. I've been your shoulder to cry on. I've been the person you would call if you ever murdered a person. I've been the person you tell all your secrets to. Even though you have all these political friends that surround you, we all know that a lot of psychophancy comes with being a politician. And you probably feel like, oh, these people, they love me, they sing my praises, they send me messages every morning. I want you to know that it's all a mirage. It's something that you see today and you see it no more. I give you an example. If you look at all the past presidents, all the past governors, each time it's their birthday, they get a lot of praises on the newspaper, social media, people singing their praises. But the minute they are no longer in office, all of that fizzles out. So my proximity to you, my closeness to you is something that I believe is an advantage. I want you to think about it. I love you so much. We've been friends for so long, and I do not want to lose you. I would always be your listening ear, your shoulder to cry on, and somebody that you can always lean on. Thank you. I love you.
That was great. That was great. Wow. Ngozi, are you here? Please listen to Joy. She loves you. Please, please. That was fantastic. So I'm going to the next topic. Okay, Sarika. I actually have one choice. I could choose the next speaker. Since Sarika is a guest, I would want Sarika to speak next. So Sarika, are you there? Because I can see you on the chat.
Yes, Jayola. How do I pronounce your name?
Well, you tried. I like the way you pronounce mine. You had a touch of, I liked it.
Okay.
Okay, so Sarika, my question for you is this. Love is blind. True love is blind. Do you agree or not, and why?
Okay, so once again, let me start my video.
Okay, yes, we want to see your face, please.
Yeah, it's not very nice. I have had very sleepless days. So
it's very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I have a 4 days old baby.
That's nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Future Toastmaster.
Okay. All right. So can I start now? Your question was true love is blind.
Yes, it was. True love is blind. Do you agree or not? And why?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Sarika from Hyderabad. People have always said true love is blind. Some people tend to believe, some people just do not believe it. I have had instances in my life where I know that true love is blind. Everyone's mother, her love is always true. That's a universal fact. But I have a person in my life who's not related to me by blood, but I have seen his life get defined by true love. The baby I just showed you now is my sister in law's baby. When she delivered a preterm baby on the 19th of June, hello?
Okay, good.
I looked at the baby, and the baby was in the neonatal intensive care unit, and the mother was in ICU. I had to hold the baby after 4 days. Since that day, I have had sleepless nights. The baby is not born from my womb, but from my heart. So if someone says true love is blind, I totally agree, because love is not a byproduct of physical components. Love is always a byproduct of heart, and heart generally makes a nexus between two people, which is unique, which is unforgettable, and undeniably cute. Over to Joyla.
What a speech. What a speech. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Can you hear that? People are clapping. Wow. That was a really nice speech. I really like that. Fantastic speech. Fantastic speech. Next, I have one more question, and I would like volunteers. So now I'll call out the question. I'll call out the question, and I'm looking at the chat box. I'm hoping that someone has someone is fearless and courageous to be able to volunteer to do this, because this will really help you, to help you. I'm telling you, I'm a testimony. You need to know that. So my next question is this. Tell us about a time you couldn't find a solution to a problem because of your proximity to it. Tell us about a time you couldn't find a solution to a problem because of your proximity to it. Taye, wow. Taye, TM, Taye, please can we see your face? Hi, TM, Taye. TM, Taye, can you come on the stage, please? This is the virtual stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can. So did you hear my question? Did you hear my question? My question was, tell us about
Sorry,
it.
can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Can you hear me?
I'm struggling to hear you. Okay.
You're struggling to
I
hear
will
me.
be, yes.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay.
Okay, there was a certain day up in secondary school, going to school with my mom, who drove us and dropped us at the gates usually. But that day was different. She had to get somewhere quickly. She had to meet a doctor's appointment for 8. So we went on the road. It was close to school, so she was going to go there first before dropping us. And we went around. We went in the car. We circled around a particular place. We circled around the address. We couldn't find the particular place she was supposed to go to. Now, a context to that was I myself, prior to that, I had issues with my eyes, so I couldn't see places that were far. So while circling around, I just pointed and said, "Mom, isn't that the place you were looking for?" And everybody in the car, knowing that I had that issue with my eyes, just looked at her and said, "Wow, we never thought you would have been the one to spot the place." Now, why did I say that? The nexus of that whole conversation is that sometimes we might count some people out, right? We might look at them as lesser opportuned or lesser positioned, right, to give the right advice, to give the right thoughts. But life continues to teach us, right, that out of the mouth of babes, think of, right? You get insightful things, right? So that was a situation that I was the one who was opportune to give the advice and to give the Toastmaster.
Well done, TM Tai. Well done. Well done. That was a really good speech. Well done. I think that all my speakers today were fantastic. You did a fantastic job. TM Joy, you spoke about your friend Ngozi in the friend zone, trying to sort out your friend zone issues and working out the proximity between you and Ngozi, not allowing it to affect you. TM Sarika, you spoke about love, that true love is not actually blind. Then TM Tai, you spoke about finding a solution. I asked you the question about, like, tell us about the time you could not find a solution to the problem because of your proximity. And you all did fantastically well. So right now, I would return control back to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayola, for that beautiful section. I enjoyed it, and I actually was looking forward to listening to Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne. I mean, I knew she was going to volunteer for that party. She's not evaluating. And I like, oh, speaking also on proximity, I liked that it is something that it makes you realize that you don't have to look far away from you. The polls are on your screen right now. Please click on the speaker who you think did it for you and submit. Time up. Please, could you tell us if everyone was within time? TM Slim. Toastmaster Slim.
Yeah. Everyone was within time. They're within time. 1 minute, 1 minute, 58 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So vote for the person who you feel did justice to the topics they were given. And like I said earlier, evaluation is at the core of the Toastmasters educational program. And you can never overlook the nexus between growth and feedback. So we would move straight to the evaluation of the table topic session. And I would like to invite the table topic evaluator. The person who would be evaluating the table topic session is the past vice president membership and current president of Kano Toastmasters Club, is passionate about helping people be the best version of themselves and lives by the slogan, impossible is nothing. He has almost 2 decades of work experience among major telecommunications giants and currently works in Maiduguri with Globacom Nigeria. Welcome Toastmaster Abdul Karim Oreagba, TCCL, to evaluate the table topic session.
Hello.
Toastmaster Abdul Karim.
Yes, hello. Good morning, and
Hi,
it's a pleasure to be with you, Lighthouse Toastmasters Club. I will have to put in a major apology. I've been having some serious challenges with the network here, and I was able to connect at the time the previous evaluator was giving his report. So I missed the essence of my evaluation.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'll try sending a message. I was just having some serious issues here.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it was the gunshots or the bomb on the outside, but it was a little bit tough for me.
Oh.
So I don't know, is there somebody else that topics was at the last session of the meeting?
Madam President,
It's a tough one. I'm sorry about that. I had to use the web portal to connect in. I'm actually
Madam
connecting
President,
via the browser.
Yes, ma'am.
can we have someone else evaluate the table topic session? Toastmaster Karim lost network, so it
Yeah,
couldn't.
it depends. So who um hmm. Can TM Jayola do it? Because I think he was listening to them as well. Because I was just enjoying the speeches. I wasn't looking out for anything.
Okay.
Ms. President, my sincere apologies. I'd have really loved
No
to do
worries,
this. I
no
was
worries.
looking
These things
I know.
happen.
Network,
No, TM
network
Rahim.
can get you at any time.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much for your understanding. I really appreciate it.
No, no worries. TM Jayola,
Thank you.
is it possible? Is he still here? TM Jayola, topic master.
Topics master.
He's not in. He's not in.
Oh,
And I wasn't attentive too, so I was just enjoying it.
I listened to all the speeches. So I think we can just do a general evaluation. Just to say that the basic, what do you call it now? So there are
Hello,
basic
guys.
things about, there are basic things. Okay, is he back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I had network issues.
Okay, TM Jayola, TM Rahim had network challenges, so he couldn't really pick, he couldn't get enough substance to be able to evaluate the speeches. So can you just do like a general evaluation of the table topic?
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It is.
thank you so much.
Okay. So let me start with TM Joy. TM Joy, her speech was well structured. I like how I liked where she came from. I wasn't expecting her to come from that perspective, looking at our friend Ngozi and the political, trying to say, oh, now that you're in politics, our friendship should be an advantage. I liked how she structured it. It was well structured. She had a storyline. It's very important when you are giving a table topic speech to have a main point. You have to have a nexus. So what's your storyline? When you have the nexus, you'll be able to develop more points. Her speech was really fantastic. I couldn't really pick out anything I would have liked to see more of. She's an expert in this field, so I didn't expect anything less. For the next is TM Sarika. TM Sarika, she did a very good job. She was able to implement, her speech also had a storyline, and it's so interesting that she spoke about a child. She first showed us a picture of, she showed us a video that she has a child was on the bed. Then the story that she now used to give the speech was, so it was more like a child was a prop. So the story she used to give the speech was now about, true love. She spoke about a child, and it was really nice. As I said, well structured. She ended well. It was fantastic, really good. So what can she work on more? It was, I did not notice anything she needs to do more, because it's well structured. The pacing of the story, it was an emotional story, and it was well paced. She was not rushing. So I liked that. For TM Tai, it was a good speech. I noticed at a point I could not really, I think it was the network. So the network would affect your transition. So the transition was no proper transition in the speech, but it was, the storyline was there. You had the story, you told us the story. The main issue I noticed was the light. Well, as people say, we're now in a new world. It's a virtual world, so everything has to click. Your lightning will affect your presentation and everything. So the lightning of your presentation did not really come out well. So it did not really present you in that light. But the storyline was good. And you ended up abruptly. I think maybe it's because of the time, because I was watching, and all of a sudden you just said Toastmasters Days. I was like, you said David Toastmaster, and I was like, what's happening? what's happening. It just ended like that. So I could not really feel the transition. So it's very important when you're giving the table topic speech so that it should be well structured. So sometimes you might just have to pause a bit. You might use some delay tactics like, oh, can you repeat the question again? So you have your idea. Once you have the nexus of your speech, it's easy to bring supporting items to make your speech more presentable. And when you notice that, oh, when they give you the yellow card, then you know that, oh, you have to start thinking, my speech is going to be ending soon. What's the best way to end this speech? Should I give a call to action? How should I end this speech? Because ending is very important. But fantastic speech by all the table topic speakers. I was really proud of you and your courageous efforts. I wish more guests and tabletop Toastmasters would have participated. It's very important because this is one of the most important skills to build, because you might meet your MD, you might have to give an elevator pitch to maybe your partner, and at that moment you have to think. It's like an off-the-cuff discussion because you're not expecting the partner in the elevator, so you have to think quickly. What's the main point? How are you going to structure it, and how are you going to end? So the person will be able to remember that, yes, you spoke to me. Fantastic. Thank you. I return control back to Toastmaster today.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jai, for that fine evaluation. It was a fun table topic session, and I simply, absolutely, not just saying, enjoyed every bit of it. And I would like to draw your attention to something. I mentioned the story of the farmer for good reason, because I have somehow linked almost every session of a Toastmasters meeting with farming in a way, at least for today. And I saw the table topic session as a time when you actually till the ground and just prepare it for the seeds that you're about to plant. So if you really need to have good seeds, you really need to do that. You don't want to skip that part. That will mess up with your harvest. But before we get to the next part of it, there is this thing we do in Toastmasters. We believe in networking. We believe that your net worth is determined by your network. An American businessman, Robert Kiyosaki, once said, the richest people in the world look for and build great connections. Other people look for work. Now we'll be going on a little break. In the live meetings, it's always more interactive. You go or walk up to people, but now you can just click on one of the boxes. If you see someone you fancy, say hello. If the feeling is virtual, they say hello back. Talk to somebody new or talk to someone you've known before. Remember, don't be blinded by proximity. Someone you've known for about 4 or 5 years might just be who you need to solve that task that is ahead of you. So, without further ado, I would move on to a 5-minute break. Everybody, come on, say hi to someone.
5 minutes.
Okay? 5 minutes. How many minutes, team? 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes.
Okay, so everyone say hello to somebody because I'll be asking questions. I like to do that.
Hello. At this moment, you can unmute. You can.
Hello.
Show your video.
Hello. The man that is always surrounded by babes.
So if you want to connect with the champion, you can see my jersey. You can connect with me. Yeah, we are the champion.
Hello, Chinese.
Yeah, TM Rotimi, social distancing.
TM, what's up with this red? I don't understand.
I can hear you.
What's up with the red that you're wearing? It's supposed to be
you
blue.
want to connect with the champion.
It's supposed to be blue. The Blues are the champion.
Blues,
Blue.
Blue. The red is down, you know. What a nexus. What a nexus environment to connect with everyone.
TM, baby.
We can't see you.
I can see you.
TM Rahim.
Rahim, hi.
TM
Rahim, hi.
TM Sarika, I can see you from India.
Hi there. Toastmaster Jaila, thank you very much for the bailout.
Yeah, how you doing, TM Rahim? Wow, don't worry.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
TM Chinese, can we see your face
It's
again?
very nice to be here, though.
Madam Presido.
Madam
Where's
President,
your
we need to see
pretty
that your
face?
cheek now that is growing bigger and bigger every day now.
She's enjoying the period.
Yeah. You know, TM Chinese, that gap to how can we have one?
Okay, guys.
Yeah, Larry, I thought
You can only have that brand now.
I think
I'm trying to get red card.
Yes, 2 minutes.
Maintaining your brand.
2 minutes break. It's over. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, not 5 minutes. It's 2 minutes, not 5 minutes. So my red has come up.
Okay, 2 minutes is enough to cook an Indomie.
Yes,
you said
yes,
5
yes.
minutes.
Go back
Oh,
to
wow.
No, it's 2 minutes.
Yes,
Sorry.
I said 5 minutes.
Okay,
2
2 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
TM
Over
Larry.
to you, Toastmaster of the day.
We're about to run.
Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Welcome. Please unmute your mic. Thank you, TM Slim. Thank you so very much. I hope everyone met someone. Did you meet someone? No, not in the chat.
Yes, I did.
Who did
I
you
met
meet?
TM Rahim. All the way from.
So what did you get to know about him?
He's all the way from Maduguri and very calm, handsome. I assume he's tall, not standing. And I love his bear.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful TM Larry. That's TM Larry, right? TM Larry. Oh, is that Jai?
Yes, hiding behind the scene.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So not to waste our time, we'll be going swiftly into the second part of the meeting. Now remember, I said I will be making a reference to the farming thing. And the second part of this meeting, I sort of connected to the actual planting time. Now, there are a couple of people who have practiced so much and they have done research, written their speech, and also written, edited, and I assume they actually stood in front of the mirror several times to get this right, because that's what I do. And they are here today to give these speeches. Now, our first speaker today is an icebreaker speech. Our first speaker is a finance consultant who joined Toastmasters early this year. She loves to read, dance, and learn new skills. And she will be giving an icebreaker speech from the Pathways Presentation Mastery Manual. Toastmaster Chiamaka will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sarika Chaudhry. TM Sarika is a member of Anurag Toastmasters in India and has been a member since 2019. She loves being a teacher and a mentor. Toastmaster Sarika is currently working in an engineering college and studying for doctorate at Pilani in India. TM Sarika, please read out Toastmaster Chiamaka's speech objectives.
Hello, everyone, especially Chiamaka. The purpose of your today's speech is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. All the best, Chiamaka.
Thank you so much, TM Sarika. Welcome, Toastmaster Chiamaka Okoye, for our icebreaker speech. TM Chiamaka, you have the floor. Toastmaster Chiamaka.
I can't turn on my video. It says the host has stopped it. Should I go ahead without?
Please.
Host, please turn on her video.
Just hold on. Host, please come to our aid.
Okay. Okay.
Kindly check, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, on now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, TM Ayo, for that. And thank you, Sarika, for that introduction as well. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Chamaka Okwe, and I'm here to give my icebreaker speech titled Some of Me. I consider myself a multi-potentialite, and what that means is a person who has multiple interests or creative pursuits in life. Unfortunately, the curse of that is that some seemingly simple topics like introduce yourself can actually turn out to be a major source of anxiety for someone like me. And in fact, it's one of the many reasons why it's taken me over 4 months to finally be here today giving my speech. So we thank God that we're here today. I will be sharing a little bit about my professional and personal life, and I hope that by the end you would have gotten to know me just a bit better. So professionally, I work as a finance consultant at one of the major audit firms in the country. And my journey to this career path is actually one that some of us may be familiar with as people who grew up with Nigerian parents. So when I was very little, back in primary school, I wanted to be a medical doctor. I mean, which child did not want to be able to treat mommy and daddy whenever they got sick? And of course, it had the added bonus of being high up on the list of Nigerian parents approved career options. Fast forward a couple of years later, I was in JS3 and we needed to pick our subjects for senior class. I was speaking to a friend of mine who said her sister was studying medicine in the university at the time. And she told me about how it was a 7-year course and had another 4 years after that for specialization. And to cap it all off, the textbooks were year high. So at this point, I was terrified. I did not see myself spending 11 years in school just to study one course and to be studying textbooks that were as thick as my head. So at this point, I decided to switch gears and decided I was going to be a petrochemical engineer instead. So when I got to SS1, I discovered that chemistry was actually one of my least favorite subjects. And between that time and SS3, I probably went through a dozen career options before I finally settled on economics. At this point, my father swung into full Nigerian parents mode. And side note, he actually studied economics when he was in the university. But at this point, he told me there was no way any child of his was going to study economics in the university because it wasn't a professional course. Those were his words. So he told me that since I wasn't going to study medicine, I might as well go ahead and study accounting since that was a professional course. And that's how I found myself in the university, learning about debit and credit and eventually working at an audit firm. So moving on to my personal life, I actually really enjoy the arts in various forms, from music to fine art to fashion and crafts. I think I had a very eventful childhood because I actually explored quite a bit. When I was in primary school, I used to write songs with a friend of mine called Owoho. And needless to say, we didn't make it to be the next Destiny's Child, but by the time I got to university, I actually had the opportunity to serve as an assistant music director for a choir. And shortly after I joined my current company, I also performed in front of the whole company at a company-wide event. I also really enjoy dancing, even though I do that mostly on my own in my house. And also, I was one of the top fine art students back in school. I can draw really well. And back in secondary school, I used to make outfits for myself from scratch with my hand. So I didn't know how to use a sewing machine, but I literally used to use needle and thread to make outfits for myself. Since then, I've learned to use a sewing machine to an extent, even though, to be honest, I don't devote as much time as I would like to some of these my more fun endeavors. And I'm hoping that once I can get some more time into my schedule, I will actually be able to do some more of those things. Finally, I'm really passionate about human rights in general and specifically about gender equality. And I actually serve as the finance team lead of an organization called Stand to End Rape. and it's one of the organizations that is at the forefront of sexual and gender-based violence advocacy here in Nigeria. So I'll end with a small charge for all of us, and this is something that I've been trying to imbibe in my own life and to learn, and it's this: embrace all of you. Only in that will you find true expression. I'm really, really excited to be a part of this community. I've attended a couple of meetings in the past, and honestly, I have no doubt that I'm going to be able to grow and achieve my leadership goals here. So I will hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you for that wonderful icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Chiamaka. That's so amazing. Really, it's not easy to come up and speak in front of people, even if it's behind a camera. I know this. So it's like so courageous of you to do. Embrace all of you. Only with that will you find true expression. Seems like you're talking to me. Well, moving on to the next speaker of today's meeting. Our second speaker is a civil servant and a businessman who joined Toastmasters in July 2019. He loves reading, writing, teaching, and watching football. He'll be giving a speech from the presentation manual, Pathways Level 2, Speech 1. Toastmaster Chinedu Ariekpere, I hope I didn't murder that, will be evaluated by Toastmaster Inemesit Felix, CCCL. Toastmaster Inemesit is a lawyer, a food and fitness coach who loves to travel and connect with nature. She currently serves as a president of Apple Hill Diamonds Toastmasters Club, Abuja. She has won Best Speaker at the International Contest and Best Speaker at the Humorous Speech Contest. TM Inemesit, please read out Toastmaster Chinedu's speech objectives.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. I'm actually not the current president of Apple Hill Diamonds Club. I was just the president some 2 weeks ago. So I'm now the immediate past president of the club. However, the speech objectives are for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style, for the speaker to share the impact of his or her communication style on others. The speaker has 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Toastmaster Chinedu, for a speech titled The Communication Style, A Way of Life. The Communication Style, A Way of Life. Toastmaster Chinedu. It's a bit low. I can't really hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can I go on?
Sure, you can.
Can I hear you?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if if there's interference in the sound with other people as well, but I can hear you.
Hello.
Toastmaster Chinedu, yes, you can go on with your speech.
Okay, thank you. How we communicate is a direct reflection of who we are, and how effectively we communicate will impact whether we succeed in various aspects of our lives or not. Good day, Toastmasters and guests. Do you know your communication style? Or you wait for it? As part of this project, I'm going to talk about my communication style a little bit, and a whole lot of other people's communication styles and how they have impacted on me positively. Now, Toastmasters made us to understand that we have 4 kinds of communication style, namely direct, supportive, initiative, and analytical. My father was this decisive, independent, confident, goal-oriented person. Sometimes people see him as strong-willed and always like to feel in control. And that is my father. I can remember growing up, my father enrolled my brothers and I in a nice school, more like extra lessons. And the first day in the class, we couldn't believe it. We met aged parents, more like grandparents. And we were like, what is this? We were so annoyed. We got home that day, confronted our father. First to speak was my eldest brother. And he said, Dad, we met more like your age mates over there. That we can't continue going to that class. And my father, he looked at him and he didn't utter a word. And my immediate elder brother again spoke and he said, Dad, I can't go back there. I can't go back there. This will be that's so hard for us. We can't go back there. And my father, he looked at 3 of us. He shook his head and he said, get out from my sight. And that is how 3 of us disappeared. And that is how we continued with the classes. The truth is, I hated this kind of communication style. But I lost my father 15 years ago. If I remember his impact on my life, it was so immense, and I really did appreciate his efforts. And this kind of communication style is called direct communication. In my family, whenever something happens and you need the detailed information about it, then you knock at my sister's door. She is enthusiastic, eager, fun-loving, always want to speak. In fact, I really did learn a lot from the way she speaks. And I mirrored her style of speaking, and her communication style is called initiative. In my Toastmasters journey, I have met a lot of people, a lot of communication styles that have impacted on me so positively. One person that is worthy of note is TM Chinese Amanfo of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters. Her calm nature, steady, and sincere way of presenting issues had been so impactful. I really did admire her. Her communication skills, whenever she mounts the LinkedIn, you sure would want to listen. And her communication style is called supportive. Now, in my Toastmaster journey so far also, I've met a lot of other group of people that have been immense as well. Talking about TM Samson, TM Rotimi Benson, TM Salif Mohammed, my mentor. These people, they are precise and logical. But whenever they speak, full of wisdom, most times they would rather listen than speak. But listen to them speak and you sure would enjoy their speech. And I've also met this other group of Toastmasters Club, talking about TM Pradi, TM Ruth, TM Ibukun, TM Lanre, TM Ifeanyi, TM Slim. This group of people, they have also impacted on me a lot. Whenever they speak, you sure would want to listen. And they are very persuasive. Their communication style is called initiative. Then again, my communication style. Sometimes, because I'm an ambivert, sometimes my communication style could be initiative or analytical. One thing about communication style is that it's good you know your communication style because it will help you in your journey to success. Also, try as much as possible to know other people's way of passing messages across because it will help you in your relationship with them. A Toastmaster. Thank you.
Madam Toastmaster, your mic is not unmuted. You can unmute your mic.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, we can hear
Thank
you
you
now.
once again, Toastmaster Chinedu. I'm sure at this point, a lot of people already would categorize themselves in the speaking style that they belong.
Enter to Bluetooth.
Hello?
But I can't help but notice that you mentioned a lot of people. You didn't mention me. And I'm thinking, have you not heard me talk? What's my speaking style? Or are you just being blinded by proximity? Come on. But overall, I loved your speech. I learned it. I think I know what speaking style that I have now, even though I never thought I took time to find that out. Moving on to the third speaker for today's meeting. The third speaker is an insurance broker and fashionpreneur, a woman after my own heart. She loves having fun, meeting people, and in Toastmasters, she has won Best Speaker twice, and she's currently serving as the Vice President Public Relations at Lighthouse Toastmasters Club. Today, she'll be doing our Project 10. Now, if you are a Toastmaster, you already know, okay, no, if you're an old Toastmaster, you would know the traditional method of the 10 speeches, HTC, ACS, and all of that. So she's doing Project 10. Now, let me just go outside of that first. I remember last year when I returned to complete my Project 10, and I think I was on Project 7 and she was on 4. And she's like, okay, yeah, we should get this Project 10 done this year. I said, yes, so we have to. I mean, we should. So we started working on it and we were going like, okay, she's like, what are you on? I said, I just want to do 7. I don't know. And the next time when I did 7, she's like, okay, maybe next time I'll do 7. So I didn't think she got to do 7. She got up to 7. But this year, I didn't finish my Project 10 in 2019 as well. So we both came this year determined to complete it. So this year, I thought she was giving speeches back to back. I said, yes. She's determined to say, no, there's no way I'm going to let this girl finish the speech, even though we made that pact to finish together.
Master, I can hear you loud and clear.
She will be completing a CC10 today, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Samuel Okonkwo, ACGALS. Toastmaster Samuel joined Toastmaster in 2014. He has held several leadership positions and is currently the president of Oil City Speakers Club, Port Harcourt. Toastmaster Samuel has completed the 40 speeches, wow, in the Toastmasters educational program. During the day, he's a human resources professional at one of the IOCS in Nigeria. And at night, he's a serial writer and unrepentant reader. And he has had a crush for 12 years. I didn't write that down, but I remember it. On Serena Williams. Toastmaster Samuel kindly read out TM Ibukun's speech objectives.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. And of course, I'm honored to be in your midst today. We've all heard inspiring speeches in history. We shall fight on the beaches, Winston Churchill. I have a dream, Martin Luther King. The task before Toastmaster Ibuku today is to follow in this line of inspiring speeches. No pressure. In 8 to 10 minutes, she's expected to appeal to our emotions. She's expected to use stories, use quotes, inspire us. At the end of the 8 to 10 minutes, she's expected to leave us on a cliffhanger. I have a gut feel that Toastmaster Ibuku is ready. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Welcome for our CC10 Toastmaster Ibuku Omishore with a speech titled Of Roses and Thorns. Of Roses and Thorns, Toastmaster Ibuku Omishore. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayo. Good day, amiable Toastmasters and guests. How are you doing this afternoon? There's a popular saying that life is not a bed of roses, and this can be painfully true. We all love the beautiful appeal of roses, but what happens when at the dawn of your life, you are cast off as a thorn rather than cared for as a rose? Navigating the course of life on earth, you would agree with me that there will be hills and mountains to climb, rivers and oceans to cross in the quest to achieve success, happiness, and fulfillment. My life was not an exception, and I humbly request that you join me on this journey. Growing up as a little girl, I had a hardworking single mother who did everything possible to put food on my plate, clothing on my tiny body, and a roof over my head. Yet, my little world was troubled and full of paranoia. The proximate cause of this was molestation. This was the beginning of disturbing experiences in my life. My sister is here. She has never heard this story, but I would continue. It started at the tender age of 4. In a bus on my way to school, in the company of my mother, she had innocently requested that a male co-passenger assist with helping her carry me while she tended to my other siblings. When I displayed discomfort because of what he was doing to me, my mother hit me for being ungrateful for the supposed assistance rendered by this wolf in sheep's clothing, whose intentions were far from gentlemanly. There were similar incidents, but that is not the reason for this speech today. Those incidents were a thorn that obviously shaped the beautiful rose you see today. Though the knowledge was not obvious to me then, but I knew that something was wrong with me. How would all of these things be happening to me? I blamed myself. I felt unloved. I felt ugly because I told myself that I was full of anger and acrimony. Do you know what it means for a tiny frame to be bottled up in anger? This anger was transferred to everything around me, including challenges. I always thought that every challenge would definitely be the end of Ibukun because I usually didn't see a way out. I was very pessimistic in my thoughts, and I didn't know why back then, but I found solace in reading. It was a world where I indulged. No one could rip me up from its endearment, and the books became my escape. I could travel, I could live, and I could dine anywhere in the world through reading. That quiet world was mine alone. I could sing, I could shout, and I could speak up. I lived in a beautiful world and I met amazing individuals who became beacons of hope for me. Their stories felt like mine. They looked highly conventional or highly unconventional until they actually became the standard. They gave me the nudge to give life a shot rather than to shut it all down. Earlier on, whilst reading, I met Albert Einstein, who did not speak until he was 4. He didn't read until he was 7. His parents thought he was subnormal. His teachers even described him as unsocial, mentally slow, and adrift forever in foolish dreams. He was expelled from school. He wasn't even admitted into tertiary institution. But guess what? He did eventually learn to speak and read, ultimately becoming one of the greatest scientists of our times. Albert gave me my first shot at hope. While taking on sure steps from Einstein's inspiration, Thomas Edison's story rolled along. After 1,000 unsuccessful trials at creating the light bulb, he finally made success. And he became an inventor that we live with till today. Guess what? We still have the light bulb working for us. I learned never to give up from Sorry, a call came in. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was gradually beginning to shake off the early misgivings of myself and the drowning voices of those who believed that women are no good, particularly my dad. Then came Oprah, the American talk show host, the philanthropist, the actress, the very influential woman. She was born into poverty to a single mother, molested when she was young, and became pregnant at 14. Her son was born prematurely, and eventually he died in infancy. But despite all of these challenges, she kept on proving herself and went on to become one of the world's most influential women today. Guess what? She made me believe that my gender was not a stumbling block. Joyce Meyer today still holds an impressive Christian voice, despite having an abusive father and a husband that she had to divorce. She still got a good shot at life. So did Serena Williams, who learned from every mistake, and she never failed to come back, even after losing 4 Grand Slam finals. She still, by every standard, one of the world's greatest tennis players of all time. I saw myself, or I saw a reflection of me in all of their stories. So please, I can't help familiarizing with them, yeah? Don't be jealous. But do you know the common denominator with all of those people I've listed? Pain, dejection, and failure. They all felt worthless at a time, just like I felt. They all failed at a time. But through determination, discipline, diligence, they were able to achieve good success. And I made this my mantra. Looking over my life and the dynamic trajectory of pain, even at 15, just after secondary school, I moved out of my mother's house and I started to learn hard lessons of life, moving from one family friend to another. At age 17, I had even passed nights under the notorious Ojuelegba Bridge. Scary nights those were. And I decided to get an apartment and live an independent life. I truly thought the whole world was against me. I never had enough of anything. I didn't have love, I didn't have money. I kept on working assiduously to put food on my table with anything I could find. I am sure you're still wondering, how did I survive all of this? Pulling through life, those days, I leveraged on lessons learned from my friends. I call them my friends because I know their story. I learned that it is okay not to have it all figured out. Sometimes you might not even have a vision. You just want to live through a day at a time. It's okay. Sometimes the sadness that you feel is an option, just like happiness. So I chose to be happy, and I think you should do that too. And another thing that I also found out was good things come to you if you think of good things. Because of my friend Rhonda Bryan, the author of The Secret, I also learned that I should ask myself in any situation that I am going through, what is this trying to teach me? Guess what? My life has not been a bed of roses, but it has been certainly refined and it has transformed me. The refining experiences has made me a bubbly freedom fighter, feminist, philanthropist, and a communicator that I am today. Washington Ivory once said, "Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortune, but great minds rise above them." Taking note of all of this, life can still have a feel of roses with its sweet fragrance in spite of the thorns of its many twists. The Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that inspiring speech, Toastmaster. Ibuku, thank you so much. Despite pain, you can still rise. Your mind is a powerful tool. If you believe it, you can be it. That's one of the few things that I learned in your speech. Thank you so much. Now, we are moving to, before I come to Toastmaster, because I have time for Toastmaster Ibuku today, before we go back to that, we're moving quickly to the evaluation part of this meeting. And like I said, the three parts of the Toastmasters meeting remind me of the process of farming through to bearing fruit. Now, the evaluation part, I liken it to the part where you water the crop, you water the seeds, while it's growing, you groom and trim off rough edges and just, pamper it till it grows nice and fresh. So I'll be calling on the first evaluator, and that's Toastmaster Sarika to evaluate Chiamaka.
Hello, Io. I am back.
Hello, Toastmaster Sarika.
Can I start?
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
Is it okay if I switch off my video, or do you want me to switch it on?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
It's not comfortable.
Chiamaka, right? Am I pronouncing it right?
Pardon?
Chiamaka. Chiamaka?
Yes, Chiamaka. Yes, you
are. Okay. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your names. Chiamaka, first of all, congratulations on finishing your icebreaker session. For a fresher, for the person who has started her speech today for the very first time, you were full of confidence. I could see that you were so confident in the speech, in the structure of your speech, that there is absolutely nothing that could have deviated you from the purpose of today's topic. I loved the title, Some of Me. Either you pronounce it as some of me, or you pronounce it, or you mean it as SUM, some of me. Both would have been amazingly well defining your speech. The third thing which I liked was the way you paused, the way you actually pronounced, enunciated, and gave the proper intonation during your speech. Coming to your areas of improvement, there were two things which I noticed. The first was you sometimes tended to look somewhere else, maybe because we are online and we are not actually in person. It happens to all of us. In person, ensure that you're looking at all of us. The second thing I realized or I noted was your transition of the speech. It was compartmentalized. You spoke about professional life, you spoke about personal life, then you spoke about your hobbies. So the transition from one phase to another was slightly missing. You ensured that everything is boxed and then you present it one after the other, which is absolutely fine. But then as a speaker, we really need to learn transition, as that's one of the important characteristics of being a Toastmaster. Apart from this, you did an amazing job. I absolutely loved your voice, confidence, your speech, and most importantly, your title. All the best for your future endeavors, Chiamaka. Over to Ayo.
Thank you so much, TM Sarika. Okay, before we move to the next evaluator, I'd like us to vote for the best speaker in the prepared speeches
Yes, yes.
category.
Just
We
30
had,
seconds.
yes, we had three
You see
speakers.
yes.
Yeah.
30 seconds, please.
So, yeah, while we vote, I'd like to call the second evaluator, Toastmaster Inemesit, to evaluate Toastmaster Chinedu, please.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests once again.
Afternoon.
I evaluated Toastmaster Chinedu, and I'll have to say, Toastmaster Chinedu, that was an awesome job. That was a well-organized and delivered speech. Well done, Toastmaster Chinedu. Firstly, I'd love to commend your enthusiasm. Firstly, I would love to commend your enthusiasm while speaking. It was so infectious and it got me into your speech from start to finish. From your first line, you said, how we communicate is a direct reflection of who we are. Just got me hooked. Well done so much. One of your speech objectives was for you to learn about different communication styles and identify yours too. And you met this speech objective. You were able to identify 4 types of communication styles: the direct, analytical, initiative, and supportive. And you even went ahead to draw a nexus between the various communication styles and the people in your life. First, you talked about your dad who used the direct style. Now, and I have to pause here and commend you very well for using dialogue and vocal variety. I love the fact that you engaged us with that dialogue between your father and your older brother. And then when you spoke, you used that young boy's voice. Your vocal variety, the vocal variety changed at that point, and I really love that. Toastmaster Chinedu, well done. Then you went further to relate other communication styles. You talked about the initiative communication style used by your sister and how she was so enthusiastic, and you really loved the way she spoke with you, which impacted your life. You also talked about a Toastmaster's supportive style of communication. That was Toastmaster Chineze. And you also shared the analytical style of communication with your other Toastmasters. You mentioned Toastmaster Pradeep, mentioned some of your club members. I think that was really nice. And finally, you spoke about your own communication style, which is a combination of 2, analytical and initiative. Awesome job, Toastmaster Chinedu, well done. Now, what could you have done better to make your speech really fantastic? I think it's on your second speech objective, which was for you to share the impact of your communication style on others. Unfortunately, I didn't hear you say that. I didn't hear how you've spoken to people and how people have come up to you to say, oh, Toastmaster Chinedu, I love the way you spoke to me. I love how you encourage me. I love this and I love that. I didn't hear that. So I wish that next time when you're giving your speech, you could do well to incorporate this objective, this recommendation in your speech. Overall, I think you did a great job and you capped your speech up when you gave us a call to action. You said, the way we pass messages across to people will help in our relationship with them. And that's actually really true. How we speak to others makes people to draw close to us or not. And that was what you finally left us with, a very, very nice piece there, Toastmaster Chinedu. Thank you so much, and I look forward to your next speech. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. So next evaluator is Toastmaster Samuel to give his evaluation of Toastmaster Ibukun. Please, Toastmaster Samuel.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon once again, everyone. First off, Toastmaster Ibuku, take a bow. That was brilliant. 10 speeches achieved. That is no mean feat. Well done. I liked your start, by the way. The rhetorical question you asked us at the beginning was really powerful. And I thought that was a good way to segue into your speech. The topic was apt, by the way. I thought for a speech like this, that kind of topic choice was really relevant. The story you told us of your mom and the man and the experience you had, I also liked that story. Part of the requirement of the speech is for you to bring your learnings from CC1 to 9. And I thought you did that. You used vocal variety in making that conversation between you and your mom and all the things that went on in your head. Your body spoke. You used pun. I mean, you said something like to give life a shot when life shot me down. I thought that was powerful in itself. Your body spoke. There was vocal variety. You inspired us, you persuaded us, all of those learnings from the first 9 speeches, I could see you bring them to bear. There was a clear nexus in the way you connected it. I also thought that the meat of the speech, which was around power of reading, was also very relevant. I mean, you took us into the minds of people like Oprah Winfrey, Thomas Edison. You just introduced them as if they were your pals, and I thought that was really good to see. I really do think that this speech was a speech and a half. And the reason I say that is not only did you inspire us, but you also left us with a lot, which is really around the power of reading and how that stretches your mind. And you talked about how reading have enabled you traveled many worlds, lived many lives, and gone through the minds of different people. And I thought that was the cross of what the speech was supposed to do. It was a really good speech. What did I like less about the speech? One housekeeping. A call came in when you were speaking. Of course, I was going to mention that, and I thought by way of housekeeping, the rule of thumb is always when you're using your phone, maybe what you want to do is to bar the calls that can come into your phone, just so that wouldn't happen. I think the other thing is because this was inspire your audience, and part of the requirement is, like I said, you really should leave us on the cliffhanger at the end of 8 to 10 minutes. I thought this was that kind of speech that maybe you wanted to have performed it standing up, so you could have positioned your camera in a way such that you would, because your body was speaking. I thought to myself, you were sitting on that chair, and I just felt you wanted to let loose in that chair you were sitting on, and maybe you should have stood up in delivering this speech. It really could have maybe conveyed the message a lot more powerfully. But hey, outside of that, I thought this was good. This is a milestone speech, and like I said, it is no mean feat. You finished strong on your CC. And if this was CC10, if what you did today was CC10, I can only imagine when you get to 40 speech, or when you get to 30, 20 speech, what it will look like. I thought, to be honest, it was good. It was very good. Well done, Toastmaster Ibuku, and see you in your next phase. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. So we can also cast a vote now for the best evaluator. The poll will pop up on the screen now, so we can vote. And while we wait for the results, this is the time I have time for Toastmaster Ibuku. I'd like everyone to, at least as much as possible, even if you can turn on your video, just mute your speakers and give Toastmaster Ibuku a resounding round of applause. Please, everyone, kindly.
Not only our speakers, our videos too. We need to say.
Yes, because in a live meeting, we should have an all standing ovation for you, and think while you're sitting down and feeling all cool. So
I'm standing.
Everyone, please.
I'm standing.
Some of us can carry our device.
For she's a jolly good fellow.
So fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow. So she's a jolly good fellow. My voice is terrible. Wait, you people should sing now. Be happy for Project 10. Come on, people.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayo.
Well done, well done, well done. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you,
And
darling.
congratulations also to Toastmaster Chiamaka for breaking the ice today. Congratulations. I hope you keep going and blazing just like that. So now, while we still wait for the results, I would call for, yes,
Evaluations.
my team members, the timers report, and that counts as, yes, I'll call on TM Slim for our timer and our counter reports, please.
Yes, for the timer, everybody is on time. They are all on time. They did so well. They're all on time. For the R counter, TM Taye actually used 5 times. Why?
Yes, we are counting your own answer, so be careful.
Please include yours.
TM Jayola used the pause filler for 3 times, and TM Chiamaka used the pause filler 3 times. TM Chinedu used it for 2 times. So the overall person that used it most is TM Taye. What should we say to him?
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again, TM Taye. Well done. Back to you,
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Slim. And the next person on my team is Toastmaster Chinedu for his grammarian and listening evaluation. Toastmaster Chinedu.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I'll give my grammarian and listening reports. In the category for use of word of the day, a lot of people used it sparingly. TM Ayotola, TM Taye, TM Samuel, TM Felix, all used it once. TM Jayola Koka used the word of the day 3 times, which is very impressive. In the category for improper grammar use, one that I picked and I would like to correct is the use of, TM Slim used the sentence, round up with your speech. Round up means to arrest, and round off means to conclude. So it should be round off with your speech. In the categories of things that I quote, start words and categories that I like one that TM Chimeze said, the best solutions are often simple yet unexpected. TM Sarika also said something around love is not a byproduct of the physical, but of the heart. And TM Chiamaka Okoye said, embrace all of you, only in that will you find true expression. That was very, very beautiful. So now we'll go to the listening evaluation portion. I'll ask you a couple of questions and I will elicit your responses. You can kindly unmute yourself at this point. TM Ayotola gave a story about the poor farmer. What was the cause of the dirty water? Anybody that knows the answer can reply.
Crude oil.
Crude oil. Thank you. TM Joy promises to be a shoulder to dash dash.
Ngozi.
No? So Ngozi, she promised to be a shoulder to
Crayon.
Exactly, thanks. TM Taye was with his mom. What was the mom doing when he found the building?
Driving.
Driving in the roundabout. Okay. Nigerian parents approve which profession the most?
Medical doctor.
Good. And what are the 4 communication styles shared by TM Chinedu?
Authoritarian, supportive,
direct,
initiative.
Initiative. One more.
It's complete.
They are direct, supportive, initiative, and analytical. Those are the 4 communication styles he shared. Okay, one quick last one. At what age did Albert Einstein start speaking?
4.
At 4 years. Good. Thank you. The Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chinedu. So quickly, because of our time, we're going to go straight to announcing the winners. And first in the evaluation category, the best evaluator, drum roll, Toastmaster Samuel. And the best topic speaker is Toastmaster Sarika. A round of applause for her. And finally, for the best speaker in the prepared speech category, drum roll now, like the winner is Toastmaster Ibuku Omishore. I just crushed our project 10. A round of applause for her. And so, checking my time is fast spent. So I'd just like to say thank you for this opportunity to serve as the Toastmaster of the day. I absolutely enjoyed myself. I don't know if you can tell, I had a wonderful time. But at this point, I have to return the control of the meeting to the president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters, Lighthouse Toastmasters Club, in the person of Toastmaster Pradip Pahawani. Around?
I saw the expression on you. Go on.
Yeah, when I saw you, you always pop up when they mention someone else.
No.
Okay. You said what?
He's going to speak on behalf of Pradip.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So
don't worry, he's not an imposter.
Can I go ahead, Mayo?
I didn't think so. Okay, so Toastmaster Rotimi Omotayo Benson would be speaking on behalf of the president of Lighthouse Toastmaster. But let me run a quick intro of him. Toastmaster Rotimi joined Toastmasters in 2017. He's an IT professional. Traveling, but not this lockdown, sir. Traveling, adventure, and extreme sport. Is the current president what?
Nice. Continue.
Is the current
I can't hear.
Go ahead.
So I'm just handing the meeting over to you. Thank you very much. I had a wonderful time.
Okay. Thank you, Tim Ayo, for your wonderful and well done job. And I'd like to also thank all the various role players, from the timekeeper to the grammarian, and especially to our guest, Toastmaster Sarika, who joined all the way from India. Toastmaster Inemesit, Toastmaster Samuel, who joined from Oil City in Port Harcourt, and lastly, Toastmaster Rahim, who joined from Maiduguri but is currently not available. Our time is really fast spent. We have just about 2 minutes to end this meeting. But before we go, I would like us to meet the guests in our meeting. So if today is your first time of joining this meeting, please can you turn on your video and introduce yourself? We'd like to know your name, who introduced you to this meeting, and how you felt about the meeting. So do we have any guests in the house, please? Any guest in the house?
Seeing someone, Veronica, Tofumi. I did not get. Yes.
Guest in the house, guest. Just turn on your video and tell us about yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. My name is Benga Olatoye. I do IT project management. I was introduced by, invited by Lanre. Fortunately, I don't know his surname, but a friend actually introduced me to him, which is, who is Paul Osaji, actually. This is my first time, and I think it's been nice listening and seeing everybody here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, guest Benga. Any other guests in the house, please? I can see some names.
That you know, right?
Mohammed Husseini.
Mohammed, yes. Tofumi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Tofumi. I'm a network engineer. I work for BCX. I was introduced by Toastmasters Ned. So even though I joined late, I was still able to pick some things from this meeting. And I know it's going to help improve my career and what I aim to achieve. So thank you very much.
Welcome. Who's the next one?
Welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Any other guests in our midst?
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Veronica.
Okay, Veronica, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Veronica Deusi, and I was invited by TM Gbemi. I am currently a financial analyst at Babanguna. I and TM Gbemi worked previously in the bank where I was working, and he just, decided to invite me to the meeting, and I would say that it has been a wonderful time. He asked me about it, and I told him that, well, I could not just leave my screen. I actually thought I was going to just, log in for a while and go back, but I could not just. I enjoyed every bit of it, and it's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Veronica.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm also a guest. My name is Doris Tonyonyebula. I'm a HR professional. I've been hearing about Toastmasters, planning to join. However, I had the conversation with a colleague of mine, Dorcas Essien. She's not in the meeting today. So today I was having a conversation with my sister, who incidentally also joined this morning as a guest. And she mentioned to me that a friend of hers sent her the link, because I was saying to her that it's a group I would like to join, but I'm not sure how it's happening at this time. So she said to me that it's actually happening online. I do not have to go for a physical meeting. So she sent me the link and I was able to join today. I would say that it was very interesting and quite impactful. So I'm looking forward to becoming a member. Why do I want to join? I would like to improve on my public speaking capabilities. Thank you. And just to also mention that the president, Chineze, is actually a friend of mine. So well done, Chineze.
Hi, Doris. It's good to have you here.
Okay, for the guests in our midst, I just got the link in the URL, in the chat box. Please kindly fill your details in the link while we will still welcome other guests. Any other guests in the meeting?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dimma Wobi. I was told about the last Lighthouse Toastmasters by my friend Norma Efana, who I was chatting with, that I wanted my teenage daughters to join a Toastmasters club, but she said there wasn't a current junior wing or so of Toastmasters that she knows about here in Lagos, but that Lighthouse would be a good one because they have young, vibrant people. And so I decided to also join with them. So I logged in today with my daughters, but they've been beating me up like, oh, you just put up with these adults. I thought you said they were teenagers. And so I had a conversation with Julie Mogbo, who is also a member, and she said that Lighthouse currently has 2 teams, so it was going to be nice for them to join. So aside that, why did I want us to join as a family? I think I love to network and meet people, and love for learning is one of my top strengths. So I want to network, I want to develop, I want my teenagers to also develop not only platform skills, but leadership skills and everything in between that Toastmasters would enable them to learn. And today I had a very inspiring time with you all, and I hope to become a member.
Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. And there's actually, there are clubs for teenagers.
Hello everybody. My name is Boke, and I joined this meeting through my mom, Julie Mobo. And so far, I've actually learned a lot of things as for giving speeches and everything. The word for the day, nexus, and transitioning when giving speeches as well. That's something I also picked up. And definitely, because I would like to improve my own speaking skills, I would be joining meetings regularly and all of that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Any other guests in our meeting?
My name is.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kamara Wobi. My mom signed me up for Toastmasters because I want to be able to participate in like extracurricular school activities and make speeches and everything.
Great. You're welcome. You're at the right place. You're in the right place.
Thank you.
There's one other person, Mohammed Hussein.
Yes, Mohammed. I can see Mohammed.
Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Hussein Mohammed. So I joined today. This is my first time here, and I was only able to meet the last speaker's speech, and it was very inspiring. And I also I'm willing to be a member. I've tried being a member once. I spoke with one of my friends, Mubarak Tiamiyu, who is a Toastmaster also. And he tried to put me through those times, but unfortunately, due to some circumstances, I was unable to join. But now I'm willing to be part of the members, and hopefully I'll be a speaker one day. Thank you.
You're in the right place. And once again, just drop the link, a link in the chat box for the guests. Kindly fill in your details, so we'll contact you after the meeting.
Okay.
Do you have any other guests in the house? We're already
So,
7 minutes.
My name is Wobi Kachim. I'm here with my sisters and my mom and my aunts, and I'm a guest. So I joined so that I can empower my public speaking voice. Thank you.
You're in the right place. Any other guests?
I think we can wrap up. We're 8 minutes over.
Okay. So one more thing before we go. This is the last meeting. This is the last meeting for the Toastmaster year 2019-2020 Toastmaster year. Another Toastmaster year is going to commence officially July 2020 and it will end June 2021. So a new set of ESCO will start from July, from the next meeting. And with that being said, by the powers conferred on me by the president, I hereby adjourn this meeting to next week, Saturday at 11 a.m. Same time, same meeting link. See you all then. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Everyone, have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. You're welcome.
Enjoy. Bye.
See you.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Larry, you never walk alone.
Yeah, when are you becoming a member? Second half.
No.
Can't pay your dues, become a member. No longer guests.
Yeah, you can. Come on.
We are the champion. TM Joy.
Hi,
Wow.
TM Joy. You had a small person there.
He wants to say good morning. No, yeah, say good morning.
Yeah. Let him say good afternoon to us.
Good afternoon.
Please introduce yourself. Okay. Again.
Angelo.
Wow. It's nice.
Angelo, how old are you?
How
old is Angelo?
That's all he has to introduce yourself.
Come on,
introduce
yourself.
Introduce
yourself too.
Introduce yourself. Go. They're asking after you.
You ran away.
Go.
Guys.
Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye. See how his voice. Aha.
Hello.
You will never walk alone. I can see you, Larry.
Okay, you can see us.
We can see you.
With our Jesse, right?
With Jesse. Please.
Say hi.
Hi, Angelo, say hello.
Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone.